All right, we're live. July 2024. Professor Matthew is learning about movies. Movie recommendations for you. We're going to beat the algorithms. Don't listen to the algorithms. I will try to help you out on your movie journey, on trying to watch good movies all the time. That's what I'm here for. We have a lot of fun here. I do. Go ahead and go check out the chat. We have lots of great people in the chat. As far as I know, usually we do. We've been doing this for years, every single month. So let's check out a couple things. I got to do shameless self-promotion. My Letterboxd page for like very quick, they're not even reviews, they're just kind of impressions, quick write-ups. Letterboxd, thank you to everybody who has followed me there, and I love to check out other people's stuff there. So it's a great, I really like it, social site where anything can happen. It's idiosyncratic, and that's kind of what I am over there on Letterboxd. Welcome everybody. Let me know if I have tech problems, by the way. Sometimes I do. Substack. So when the muse hits me, I do Substack. I write for free, although you can subscribe, be a paid subscriber there for cheap and donate. That would be great, because this is a hobby, and I enjoy it, but I am dependent on you for funds. So I occasionally go to new movies. I haven't been doing that much this summer. I actually should apologize for that, because I think that's my one deficiency this summer. I haven't gone to see the new movies in the theaters. I don't know if there's been anything good. I did go to see Quiet Place Day 1, the third one, and now it's a franchise. I have to see an Alien Invasion First Contact story. I appear to be the only one, the only one who doesn't like it. I mean, I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes. It's 87% liked. I know Rotten Tomatoes, it's hit or miss. It's not quite right, but I really didn't like this movie, but you can see why. I try to explain why in my write-up. So Substack, you can subscribe for free. Got people from around the world. Norway, New Zealand, and Australia. What's going on here? Because you know what? This is July 4th. Happy birthday, America. Well, okay, July 2nd really is the birth. Well, who cares? But I usually am not here on holiday. So here you go, July 4th. And by the way, you can become a channel member and get all of these videos that I upload. I just release them to channel members immediately when I upload them versus scheduling them out. I've got a video releasing every single week. Usually I always do it on Tuesday, but if you're become a member, you get everything. And so you're going to get, if you become a member, you get 20 videos that I've uploaded that are scheduled to be released up through next January. And I'm still working on them. And I do a piecemeal. I do sometimes three a week. I just did one this week. And I did one that was an American movie this week. I uploaded it today, about 2 hours ago. And so that was my 4th of July, Easter egg. No one will notice but me. But it was an American movie that could be released today. Bangladesh. Well, welcome. Love it. Great. Love it. So let's get to it. What I do is recommendations based on a couple of things, what's coming out in the theater and Criterion Channel. Nobody sponsors me. Maybe I should be sponsored, so I'll be sponsored today by my reading glasses. When you get old and you need a little help, you get reading glasses. They're cheap. They're easy. 1.5 times magnification. I really enjoy them, although it may be a sign of my senility. So I don't need them, but I actually like them. I need them in low light. All right, so get back. Oh, and I want to say shout out to this shop here in Greeley, Colorado. The owner recognized me and sent me a nice note. He's a big fan of the channel. I don't get recognized in public that much, but it happened here. Downtown Sound, they've got albums. I went in there, spent a couple hours, enhanced my album collection. Downtown Greeley, Colorado. Who knew? I mean, I used to live there. It didn't used to be kind of dumpy. Now it's got some artsy stuff in it, some nice stores and nice ambiance. So check out Downtown Sound. He did not pay me to do this. I thought it was nice that a fan recognized me out in public, and he had a great shop, a nice shop, and in a place I wouldn't expect it. So there you go. And does anybody use Backlogged? I mentioned Letterboxd for movies, but this seems to be the site like Letterboxd for video games. I think I've seen it before, but last night, a couple guys on the There Will Be Duds podcast, which I've appeared on, go check them out. They mentioned this, and I thought maybe I should sign up for this. I don't know how to write about video games because I don't know how to write about gameplay and game mechanics. I think that's a key part of video games, so it's not my thing to do. I don't understand it that well. I can analyze the narratives and some of the characters and those kinds of things. But maybe I'll sign up for that. Maybe I'll keep a log of that. If you guys use it, let me know. I think you can link it to your Letterboxd account, but I don't know anything about it. I was just told about it yesterday, or I was reminded of it yesterday, really. So anyway, what's coming out in the theaters? You know, I look at the theater just to say American movies, American movie distribution. I think it's worldwide. So those of you in Bangladesh, maybe you're getting the same movies as I am. But I look at July, this month, and I'm getting Beverly Hills Cop, Netflix, okay? I'm seeing another franchise film from Despicable Me. I asked my daughter, do you want to go to this? She was a hard no. She just doesn't care. She's 15 years old, doesn't care. I know I'm skipping a lot of things. The Lion King, re-release. Twisters, which is Twister. I feel like I'm back in the 80s and 90s still. Like, this is not stopping. Where are all the new things? It's all franchise fare. It's all rehashes. I've complained about that for months, for years. Some things don't change, but I don't know that it's going to get better. There's a new Shyamalan movie coming out, Alien. The interesting one is the Costner movie, which I did not go see because I was like, do I have 3 hours? No, I don't have 3 hours. I've got an hour and a half. I've got 2 hours here and there. I don't want to sit in the movie theater for 3 hours. I do not understand what he's doing here. He's releasing several movies. Apparently the first one did not do well, box office wise or critic wise. A few people like it. I might like some of it, but I don't know. It's like he's releasing several 3-hour movies instead of doing a TV show. I'm so confused by this. It is so strange. Is he losing money? Who's losing money? I don't know, but I know at least it's what I like about this. At least it's something that signals, hey, middle-aged to older people, this is for you. Maybe this is a racial thing too. I have no idea. Just a male thing. I have no idea. But I can tell this is a little bit different from the stuff that has been coming out in theaters forever, which is geared towards teenagers, American teenagers, I think. So, the movie I just did a video on, I uploaded, I called it a middlebrow movie. It's somewhere between highbrow and lowbrow. It's both intellectual or sort of intellectually stimulating, not like super high IQ, but it's also entertaining. You know, they used to make a lot of those in the 1990s. And in fact, I saw the, is it Apple TV? I don't know, is making a TV series on the movie or the book Presumed Innocent, which is a movie, that's to me, it's a Harrison Ford movie from the early 90s. I really like it. It's a flawed masterpiece. It's got serious flaws, but I really enjoy it. That's an adult thriller. It's a middlebrow movie. That's the kind of thing I miss. But movie history is riddled with them, so we're not going to run out of those. Just saying. Anyway, the end of the year looks like a little better. There's going to be Coppola's Megalopolis, the second Joker movie, which might be angular and weird. I'm hoping, and not just straightforward. It's a Joker musical. Not my thing to watch a Joker, but anyway, it has some promise. I don't know some of these other movies. I did not investigate them, but when I looked through this, I thought, okay, there's some promising things like Nosferatu. Okay, so that's what we get. Anyway, welcome to those of you in the chat. This is great. There's a lot of people here. Let's look at Criterion Channel. Not sponsored by them. They ghost me when I email them, but whatever. I don't care. I still recommend them, and they have a lot of great things leaving the channel. Actually, I have great things on the channel. Maybe we'll look at that, but it's useful. You know, one streaming service, this was the one. I really like it. HBO Max is pretty good too for me, but this is what's leaving, so you never know if you're going to find it again. That's why I look at it. May not appear for a long time, maybe disappearing, and that's the case with this movie Missing, which about 4, 5, 6, 10 months ago, I was looking for and could not find. The only way I could get it was through a DVD interlibrary loan. I'd go to my library, hey, go get a DVD from the other library like 500 miles away. Really hard to find, not available on streaming. I recommend this movie. Jack Lemmon, Sissy Spacek, and it's atmospheric. It's about two different types of Americans who are going to go find a missing guy. It's Jack Lemmon's son, Sissy Spacek's husband, in Chile, 1970s. I forget when exactly, but some kind of a revolution. and the political revolution in this depicted is really well done. It's an interesting, thoughtful movie. Again, a middle brown movie. It was nominated for an Academy Award in this year. And it's a Criterion Channel collection, but you can't find the disc, or the disc costs $1 million. I mean, it's out of print. So I would go run to watch this if you're even like an inkling of a cinephile, if you like political thrillers. I think that's most people watching this channel. Pretty good movie. Recommend. Decent recommend to strong recommend. I think most people will like this movie. It has some things to say. It's interesting. So I have to mention that, especially because, as I said, it is not, you may not find it again. Like, if it goes off this channel, Criterion Channel, I don't know if you're going to find it. Like, I had that same problem, as I said, 6 to 10 months ago. So there you go. Check out Missing, because of its rarity. I think relative rarity. There's a bunch of movies like that. What's also interesting to me here, Dazed and Confused, you see that there, and then The Big Chill. So if you want to compare boomer angst in The Big Chill to Gen X angst in Dazed and Confused, that would be an interesting sociological comparison. I've sort of done that myself. I'm even tempted to write about it on Substack. All the Gen X kids in these 80s movies and 90s movies. Link. Oh, said I was offline. Hopefully I'm still online. Anyway, in these 80s movies. All right, here I am again. I don't know what just happened. Whoa. What in the world is going on here? Internet connection, YouTube. Don't know. Sorry. Thanks for sticking with me. Oops. That was a terrible interruption hiccup, but I don't know what that was. Okay, so let's go back to this. Dazed and Confused. Love this movie. Think it's fun, still relevant, interesting, very well laid back style. Only offline for a second or two. That was so weird. It told me I was completely offline. Anyway, I did a video on Dazed and Confused. I love this movie versus hating Big Chill. I think I wrote a tiny bit about Big Chill on Letterboxd. I think it deserves more of a wider critique, wider look, at length, with a lot of nuance in a written thing, which I know most people don't have the attention span for. That's okay. I still like to do that sort of thing. So maybe I'll do that one of these days with these sort of early 80s coming of age adult movies, which feature boomers, versus the 90s sorts of movies that, if you want to look at something like this, the Royal Tenenbaums. I mean, this is perfect, because that movie, Royal Tenenbaums, is about, to me, these sort of lost Gen X kids who have this sort of domineering, I don't know if he's a boomer or not, he might be older than that, the Gene Hackman character. Terrible person. I just watched this movie recently, rewatched it, and he's a terrible person in this. I just can't stand him. I'm not in love with the sensibility and the way this movie ends, but it is about these sort of lost Gen X kids. It starts out with them being very young, and then they age into Gwyneth Paltrow and Luke Wilson here. So funny how you can just watch those three movies, and they probably all talk to each other in interesting ways. If you're interested in anything like that, I recommend Dazed and Confused, of course. I think people know that. But these other two might be interesting in an intellectual, sociological sort of way, which I may not be thrilled by them, but I do appreciate that sort of thing. All right. There's some good things here. I have not seen some of these. What is Guarding Tess? I don't remember that. I'm going to look into that. 94. I should know this. Wait, Gen X Mom has been telling you to watch The Big Chill. Why? I don't know. It's just an older generation at that point. No, you should try it. See if you like them or not. That's fine, though. It's great. There was some other stuff here. Oh, yeah, some noir stuff. So Point Blank, kind of well-known movie. I've seen it. I've brought up in some criticism recently. Of course, I recommend On the Waterfront. I should just stump for it here, but there's a whole video. It is fascinating. A wonderful movie in so many ways. I'm skipping over some. Obviously, they have some here. I think it's Bridge on the River Kwai's fine. There were a couple here. I wanted to watch Gambit. I have not seen it. Ronald Neame, an early Michael Caine movie, and I'll always watch Michael Caine in just about anything. Oh, classic American movie. Here's your 4th of July thriller. Not a thriller. It's just a weird movie all around. Peter Sellers plays a man. I remember my political science, one of my favorite professors, just gushing about this one back mid to late 90s, being there, based on a novel, which I probably should read, have not. A later Hal Ashby movie, it turns out, with Peter Sellers. It says he's a pure-hearted, childlike man named Chance. It's hard to tell whether he's simple-minded, I don't know, very basic, no education, low IQ. But he wanders into Washington, D.C., and people, higher-ups, take him very seriously. He utters like this fortune cookie wisdom that may or may not apply, or is so ambiguous that you can do anything with it. And Peter Sellers plays, it's sort of against type. He doesn't play anything wacky here. He's very straightforward, although there is an obvious undercurrent of humor. And it's it's very, was it dark comedy? Dry humor. The idea that the Washington D.C. elites would take this guy seriously, with a final shot that I think is still famous. If it's not, it's memorable. And that's the thing about this movie. What do you do with the final shot in this? I'm an Ashby fan through and through. I did a video on him. I like probably his first 5 movies better than this. So Shampoo, great. And so on and so forth. So we can go through them all. But still, most people really love being there. This is good. So Evan Patrick Adams is saying, sorry, I'm skipping some comments. I'll look at them all later. But Caspar Hauser. It is, those are good ones. The Enigma of Caspar Hauser by Werner Herzog. And being there, those would be good to compare or look at together. It's sort of dopey or misunderstood or simple-minded or offbeat character wandering into civilization and people, how do they take him? It's really fascinating. So I strongly recommend this one. So there you go. Missing and Being There, Dazed and Confused. None of these are going to be like in-your-face kaboom thrillers, exciting romps. But they are entertaining to me, and they're very thoughtful. So if you need 3 movies this month, there you go. That's easy. That was no problem. Have you seen Death in Venice? I've not seen Death in Venice, so I should look at that. There are some well-known movies here. Some of you know them. Oh, okay. We'll stop here. The Straight Story. There's your 4th movie, or if you want a 4th of July one. Old man drives tractor across Iowa, as done by David Lynch, working for Disney and doing a G-rated movie. David Lynch does this after Lost Highway and before Mulholland Drive. And this is one of those, it's a great, great thing. I love it when directors challenge themselves, do something different than they're used to. I think about Martin Scorsese's, I really love it, After Hours. That's, when people think of Scorsese, they'll think of nothing like After Hours. When people think of Lynch, they probably, there's some Lynchian moments in The Straight Story for sure, but they probably wouldn't think he would pick that. And it's not Disney-fied. I mean, it is it's an angular Disney, if I can use that word. I think you've got this sort of heartfelt, sentimental stuff, but Lynch is not going to do that. The story could be that. And that's what's interesting about the title, The Straight Story. I think that might be his name, Straight, but it's not straight. And he's going to go see his brother, or You guys have to tell me. I can't remember. Across Iowa. So he doesn't have a car. I don't think he's got enough money. And so he just drives his tractor across Iowa to see his lost, estranged brother. I think played by Harry Dean Stanton. Did I get that correctly? Yeah, I did. And another Sissy Spacek movie. It's been a while since I've seen this, but I should do a video on this because this is a very interesting movie in the career of a director who most people on this channel absolutely love. And I love it when, as I said, when artists challenge themselves, do something weird, offbeat for them. The career, that's why I do these great directors videos, because the careers of these artists, and they make different choices at different times, and they do something that challenges themselves and not just the same or something normal. I really, really appreciate that. That's actually part of the reason I'm not throwing him under the bus because he's young, but the director who did A Quiet Place Day One, he did the movie Pig. Now, I must say I didn't like that movie that much, but a lot of you did. And I thought it was weird enough to have a ton of promise. Pig, with Nicolas Cage, and sort of a John Wick revenge story in Oregon, hipster Oregon, is getting revenge for his pig. And he's a chef or something like that, or a failed chef. Then this director does Quiet Place Day One. I just want to blame it on the studios and the corporations why this couldn't have been more pig-like. You had the franchise formula that you could have done something very strange with, and instead it's make noise, monster come at you, run sort of movie. Dare I say a more dumbed down version, a little bit more to me of the original Quiet Place, which was a fine, interesting movie. I think will endure because it has some basic human problems that people can relate to. So I love it when directors are weird. Another one would be Billy Wilder, who challenged himself many times in his career. Oh, he did some offbeat things for some different kinds of pictures. I hate it when people use pictures because movies aren't pictures, but whatever. So there's a couple Billy Wilder movies. Of course, The Apartment is well known. So there you go. I ought to think of, and Bringing Out the Dead by Scorsese is another one of his little bit offbeat movies. I don't love it, but it is interesting in his career. We should think of artists who do that. And I'm tempted to put a list of those types together. The offbeat, strange choices of directors. Fairly well-known directors who at a single moment did something strange for them or strange for the times or both. Man, there's so much going on here. Like, there's no adaptation. There's like no homily. Oh my gosh. There is no possible way to go through. I meant to see Go by Doug Liman. I have not, so check that. I obviously love Grizzly Man, one of my favorite movies ever. Bedroom Window is not a bad noir. I at least like the first half of it's Hitchcockian. Talk about weird directors, Louis Buñuel's This Great Charm. The Limey, I did watch that. Very good recently. Interesting. Soderbergh's another one of those who challenges himself, does weird offbeat things. There's different kinds of techniques in his movies, or is learning as he goes. He's definitely one of those I'm talking about. God, they have a lot. Oh, this is not going to end. The scroll. And some of these, of course, I'm going past. That can't be the Phil Collins. No, it's not, right? But anyway, I'm scrolling past some. If you see anything here, let us know, because this is just a cornucopia, and it's only what's leaving. Oh my gosh. Let's do one more thing real quick. Criterion Channel. Let's go there for more recommendations. They have, yes, awesome, a neo-noir list. I have I keep a bunch of curated lists on Letterboxd. Science fiction list is pretty complete. Neo-noir, more noir, neo-noir, not so much. I need to add to it. Things I haven't seen, or things I've seen, I just forgot I saw them. So neo-noir is great. I just love this stuff. It could be terrible, and I still love it. Let's see what they've got, because I haven't looked at this. Soderbergh's Out of Sight. Good. De Palma's Obsession. Can't remember that one. The Man Who Wasn't There. I am now teaching that in my class. It's a great, great movie. An underrated, underseen Coen Brothers movie, I think. I think it's I don't know what those words mean, but it seems like I don't see a lot of people talking about it compared to other movies. You know, they made The Big Lebowski and Fargo before this one, so they're on a roll to me, and I think they didn't fail here with The Man Who Wasn't There. Very good. I don't love LA Confidential, but I think that's entertaining. Peter Yates' Eyewitness. I've not seen that. Oh, it's got William Hurt. Awesome. Blowout, interesting looking movie. Blue Steel, Bigelow. This is awesome, people. Just go here and watch. If you're an adult and you need your adult fix. Oh gosh, that's a hard movie right there. Herzog's version of The Bad Lieutenant with, look at that weird Nicolas Cage haircut. You can't go wrong here. This is crazy. I have not, that's why I'm reacting to this. This is so good. I love I love the idea of Night Moves. I don't love the movie, but it's so fascinating. The deconstructed detective story with Gene Hackman, which I'll watch anything with Gene Hackman. Oh, okay, so you can compare The Bad Lieutenants. There's Abel Ferrara made A Bad Lieutenant with Harvey Keitel, a very dark movie, a super dark movie. And then I need to know the backstory. I don't know it. Isn't that, I think that year is wrong there. Maybe it's not, 2009? Seems wrong, but I could be, okay, misremembering. But then Werner Herzog sort of remakes it. What a weird title, New Orleans. Like, there's two subtitles, there's a colon and two subtitles. What is he doing with that? And Nicolas Cage plays sort of the Keitel character, sort of not. I don't know what's going on with this, why it was made or anything like that. I really, really need to. You could do the comparison here. You know, you could watch one and then the other and look at the differences. I have not personally done that, but I'm thinking of the very, very serious nature of the first one, the Ferrara version, a Catholicized version, and the Herzog version, I think, undoes all that. I think. Anyway, there you go. Those are my recommendations. I'm going to leave them up. Maybe we'll go back to, we'll throw Substack back on there, just in case. I want to check out the chat. Happy 4th of July to you all. Norway, great. Should visit there. New Zealand, Australia, Bangladesh. These sounds like great places to visit if I get enough money one of these lifetimes. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go through the chat, and you can enjoy that. Please enjoy. First Quiet Place, could not finish it. I actually like the first Quiet Place a little bit more. I think about it occasionally. It has a great soundscape. Against the zeitgeist of these loud, fast-paced movies. I also like the things in it that have to do with, it has a basic problem. Once you have kids, you'll know this. You need to keep your kids quiet. You're in a certain place. It's grocery store, it's church, it's some ceremony like a wedding. You need to keep your young kids quiet, and you can't. Okay, so The Quiet Place, they understood that problem entirely, and it's in that movie all the way through, where you have to keep your kids quiet, because otherwise if they make a tiny bit of noise, the aliens will come and kill you. I mean, that's all there is to the movie, but I think it's kind of fun, and there's not a lot of movies, maybe none, that deal with that problem. You know, I think that's a good one for screenwriters or for filmmakers out there. Find a problem that just about everybody has at some point. You know, a basic problem. Everything everywhere all at once. Taxes, if you're a small business owner, and taxes, right? And you're getting audited. You know, that's a very frustrating, internalized, emotional swamp of a problem. So find something like that and then write it into your movie. You can probably do whatever you want. You can make a multiverse movie, a zombie movie, something, but it has that thing in its core. And I think you'll get a lot of people to appreciate it if it's well made. I need to come up with a list of those things. I probably could. The more you age, the more of those you acquire. I just can't deal with this anymore. And then you see it in a movie, like, it's kind of cathartic, maybe. Favorite movies from South America. You know, that's a deficiency on my part. Yours are No from Chile. This is Hippolito. Thank you, Hippolito. No from Chile and City of God, which I think City of God is still well known. It was a hit when it came out amongst lots of people, critics, maybe cinephiles, and I think it still is. But I need to check that out because I haven't seen it since it came out. It was a striking movie, but my deficiency is I don't know enough about movies from South America. You know, I recently reviewed 6 months ago the movie Society of the Snow. Is it Society of or Society in? It's on Netflix. It's about the plane that crashed in the Andes. And the people have to eat dead bodies to survive. That's a very good movie. You know, but I don't know enough offhand to know. So thanks for challenging me. I do not know what Harold and the Purple Crayon is. You know, is that a kid's book? Is that a famous kid's book? I don't know what that is. So maybe it's good. Yeah, Gladiator 2. Ridley Scott will not stop. He's like Eastwood. He'll just make movies until he's 158. You know, that guy, Eastwood seems to have the same motor. It's wild. Like, I guess it's better than just sitting next to your pool and getting old and decaying, right? Make movies. Make a movie, make a movie, make a movie. Just never stop until you die. Versus Tarantino, who said 5,000 times he's going to retire. You know, Eastwood gives a big middle finger to that idea. Yeah, we talked last time about illegally streaming movies in the last live stream. I think we covered that one. Being there. Yeah, I don't understand the love for Being There. I found it boring and really unbelievable. Exactly. You know, that's the threat to that movie. It is slow. Being There is slow. It's a style of dark comedy, dry humor that will not work for I think, a decent proportion of the population. In fact, when my professor in the 90s was recommending it, there is no way. This is just a wild guess. Maybe I'm being rude here, but like that 20%, over 20% of them would have appreciated Being There at the time. Maybe now, I don't know. But you really have to hone in on it. And yes, it's a fable. It's sort of surreal. That's the thing. Like, could a simple-minded guy go to Washington, D.C. and be the toast of the town? A guy like that. I don't know. But it's got there are ideas behind that, obviously. So whether you're willing to give up your disbelief, suspend it, is going to be possibly a problem. Watch A Straight Story as a double bill with Nebraska. Yeah. That's a good idea. Okay, yeah. R.I.P. Donald Sutherland. Yeah, I forgot about that, and I did not do a video on that. Could have. Wasn't sure what to say, but obviously a very good, well-known actor, but yet not top tier A-list on Entertainment Tonight, beloved by everybody. I'm scrolling down here to find him. Wasn't he in Don't Look Now? There he is. In this movie about Venice from Nicholas Roeg. Yeah, Donald Sutherland's career is amazing. And then, of course, he has Kiefer Sutherland, who seems to really appreciate then and now his own father. What's the best Donald Sutherland movie? Like he's I'm not calling him a character actor, but he knew how to inhabit a character, so he's different in different roles. And obviously a guy who doesn't, look at him, he's not a beautiful man, I think, but he's an interesting looking man. And so that's my spiel, is like, people want to watch movies to see beautiful people. That's probably number one reason. But not just beautiful people, but interesting looking people that the camera love. That could be anybody. I just don't know who until they're sort of tested out. So Donald Sutherland, and he had a breakthrough. He was probably in the greatest era for himself. That late 60s, mid 70s, late 70s, probably the best era for him to come up through. Today, would he even be known? Like, would he just be in theater? Maybe. So I don't know offhand. I can't think of the best Donald Sutherland role, because he's had so many that were good and interesting, such as this movie. Not a movie I like, but a movie a lot of people do. So yeah, there you go. Rest in peace. Also, Robert Towne, the great screenwriter, died. as well a couple days ago. If you don't know Robert Towne, go look him up. And his screenwriting credits was like, wow, that guy did a lot of great things. He wrote a lot of movies, and from the '60s through the 2000s, maybe beyond the first decade of the 2000s. Yeah. All right, reading this. I was remembering New Orleans getting a lot of tax credit for film production. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. For Port of Call, New Orleans, like New Orleans wanted to be filmed. Yeah, it's a interesting movie place for sure. And you're recommending it as a funny film. I have to go watch that again. I have it on my laptop to watch. Whether I'll watch it soon or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, any erotic thriller. What the heck is erotic thriller? You go back to Siskel and Ebert's videos. I've seen a few of those, a couple of recently. They talk about sex films or erotic films. Like, there's no such thing anymore, because I guess pornography is so ubiquitous. Like, what movies can't compete or something. I don't know. But I mentioned a couple. Isn't the bedroom window one? Certainly Don't Look Now. Anything in that? Well, probably most things in that neo noir collection, if you want that. For erotic thrillers. What's my take on sports movies? The most formulaic genre or subgenre or kind of movie there is. The one where if you know it's a sports movie, you know how it's going to end. I don't have a problem with that at all. I'm just saying there usually is a lack of surprise, an artistic risk-taking in those movies. Even the recent A24 movie, The Iron Claw, disappointed me because I felt like I'd seen the movie about wrestling, pro wrestling. I felt like I'd seen that movie before, several times, and it wasn't a big shock. So that's, if I want something normal and ordinary, like I love the movie Hoosiers because I'm from around there and I understand the obsession with the sport of basketball and what that movie depicts. And I like what's going on in that movie. And I love Gene Hackman. So for me, that's a personal choice to love Hoosiers. But I don't know. I can think of, I'm sure there are some sports movies that are different, but not very many. And that's American sports movies. Worldwide, there's movies that have sports in them, like the occasional game or competition, but aren't about sports. So I have to think about that a lot more and get back to you on the interesting sports movies, the intriguing sports movies that would fit into, I don't know, the choices that this channel makes. It's a good question. Bengali cinema, one of my, oh gosh, don't ask me about that. Oh, that's like 5 lifetimes worth of study there. I need to know more. Sorry to skip over that. I like that question. We had to study City of Glass last year in film school. Oh, film analysis class, definitely an important film. I should get it and rewatch it. Yeah, thank you for that. Did I participate in the Criterion sale recently or currently on Barnes & Noble? Yes, every so often, 50% off. Never buy... Sorry, Criterion, but you do know this. You sometimes mark these movies down, either on your site or at Barnes & Noble, so never buy a Criterion disc at full retail price. Makes no sense, because occasionally they go 50% off. 2-3 times a year. So Barnes & Noble online, as well as a store. Again, they don't sponsor me. I did participate in that. It's ridiculous. I keep saying I'm going to save up my channel money to get a new something rather. New mic, new laptop. And then I just keep spending some of it, on movies I don't have that could be useful for my channel library. I bought Wes Anderson movies. I bought the ones I didn't have. Moonrise Kingdom, Fantastic Mr. Fox, another one. I bought 6 movies I cannot remember, so I didn't do an unboxing video. Sorry, but I bought, the Wes Anderson movies. I don't know. I'm hit or miss on him, but he definitely is an auteur. So why not have them? Yeah, 50% off. Donald Sutherland is very good in JFK. Very fascinating. Which, one of my favorite films. Don't want to spoil anything. Anticipating an Oscar video coming up from the channel. But yeah, Donald Sutherland, JFK. Absolutely. Good one. Chariots of Fire, a rare sports Oscar winning movie. Yeah, and that's to me, a better movie. Not in the formulaic sense of a sports movie, for sure. Probably from the year of Missing, or maybe that was the year after, right? Early 80s, 81, 82. Gallipoli is half a sports film? Gallipoli. Did he play sports in that? I'm lost on that one. Sandlot's kind of fun. Raging Bull, that's good. Yeah. Good questions. And I always have to think. It takes me a while to think. So I'll do videos eventually on these if I get old enough or have the time. Okay, last question, maybe. Big is my DVD collection? Yeah, people want me to show that off. I'm a little paranoid, so I always think, okay, so you'll know when I'm on vacation, you go take out my my collection. It's not that big. Right now, okay, maybe it is. It's all relative. Okay, so for most people, it's probably very big. For some of you, it's probably very small. I actually have no earthly idea. It's enough to fill 16 terabytes. What? That's so random. I ripped them all, put them on hard drives as backups, 16 terabytes worth. You got me on how big that is. I want to say, I know it's in the hundreds. It's definitely not in the thousands. Okay. So I'm not a collector in the sense that I got to go get everything or anything that's on disc and anything that's random or obscure. I don't do that. I do get movies I think would be useful for me to use on the channel at some point or have a wide variety collection of. So I would guess I have 300 Criterion discs. That's just a wild guess. I have no earthly idea. I would guess. I have a lot more Blu-rays and DVDs because I do not believe in DVD. I thought DVD was obviously, to me, it was an upgrade from VHS. I know VHS has got a retro quaintness to it and has had that for 10 to 20 years for a lot of people. I never liked it. I thought it was awful. I thought it degraded. I didn't like the giant cassettes. I didn't even like the way they smelled. I think they smelled weird. But the DVDs was an upgrade, and then the Blu-rays were upgrades. Then you get to 4K, and for me, 4K is probably not worth it. If you get a high quality remastered DVD, I'm fine with that versus a 4K. So I don't see the difference there. So I've stopped it. I thought the Blu-rays were the peak, and I've kind of stopped there. Yeah, the rule of thumb from Evan. My rule of thumb is a film I would stop whatever I'm in the middle of to rewatch. I think that's a good one for ordinary or ordinary anybody. If it's a movie you rewatch several times, then you can justify the price of paying for a disc. We'll watch it 3 or 4, whatever that works out to be, 3 or 4 times. Yeah, I used long time ago that was my rule. Nowadays it's like, well, it's a collection for the channel. It's a library for the channel. That's my idea. So, yeah, 300 Criterions. Is that right? Maybe that's high. I don't know. It feels like I've seen half Criterion collection at least, maybe more. Laserdisc, yeah. Those were the days, man. Those were the days. All right, maybe I'll answer one more question. Yeah, I love these. Also, I'm doing them for free. So go, sign up for my Substack, please. I like answering these questions for free. Go just be a free subscriber over there. It costs you nothing. What's the question? Oh, what's a philosophical movie? One philosophical movie you recommend? I actually think, okay, I'm going to be a jerk here, snob. all movies are philosophical. They all have a philosophical aspect. You know, they all do. They all have an aesthetic aspect. They all have an economic aspect. They all have a sociological aspect. They all have a political aspect. Obviously, they're not all like heavily weighted towards the political. Like people talk about political movies, and they're differentiating from non-political movies. Well, a non-political movie has political aspect, just either it's subtle or not as pronounced. But all movies have something. So I would say all movies are philosophical. Even Porky's, mentioned earlier in the chat. I mean, it's got ideas. It's got basics. Now I don't know if that means slow and ponderous. I don't know if that means the ideas are discussed openly in dialogue. You know, Dazed and Confused is philosophical, and I think it's overtly that. It's overtly that in the style choices. So the style choices connected with the atmosphere, the themes, growing up in the United States at this point, high school in the United States, and so on. So, but I always go back to the same one. I say this every time. Just go watch Kieslowski. The one I'll recommend, Blind Chance. So you guys are interested, or I've talked about being there, right? So go watch Blind Chance. I don't think you've seen a movie like that where a guy, protagonist, and he's in Poland, it shows 3 different life paths for him. And he's trying to get on a train, and he either makes the train, he misses the train. Dang, what's the third option? There's a third option to that. And the movie shows you the 3 life paths. Now, this is not like Clue. If you've seen the movie Clue, which has 3 different endings, which is kind of fun, in my opinion. But this is heady. This is like, what if you had taken this choice, or what if you'd taken this choice? Sort of just different moments in your life. I think Blind Chance is one I haven't talked about in the channel in a video, but I think you might appreciate that. And obviously there's a political aspect of the movie if you want to look into it. It's behind the Iron Curtain. The guy's in Poland. I think he's going to go somewhere in the West, but I can't remember where. He either does do that or he doesn't. There's a third option. So yeah, a Blind Chance, which thanks for giving me the opportunity to mention it. Any of those early Kieslowski movies will be that. Obviously the Decalogue, but yeah. Will I watch Beverly Hills Cop? I don't have a subscription to Netflix. I've stopped. I can't stand the look of the page. I can't stand how loud. I'm sorry, now old man ranting at clouds. Can't stand how loud it is when I turn it on. Can't stand that it 5 seconds into the credits advances to the next movie. I know they've been doing that forever. I don't like their algorithms. I don't like their presentation of their movies. I can't find anything on there. It assumes that I will like in the past what I will like in the future. It believes I'm not a developing human being. I just don't like it. That's why I do this channel recommendation, because I give human recommendations to other humans. You know, maybe you'll take them, maybe not. But an algorithm believes that you are just going to love the same things throughout your entire life. I think that's kind of boring. So anyway, why am I ranting? Beverly Hills Cop is on Netflix, right? Netflix has kind of stopped recently, and I don't know why, doing more, cerebral movies? That's the category they always gave me, cerebral, whatever that means. But, you know, they did Charlie Kaufman, they had the Coen Brothers movie on there. I don't know where all that stuff is, so it hasn't been there for a few months. I haven't seen releases like that. So Netflix, sorry, I'm not gonna. You know, Hitman by Richard Linklater was on there, and I didn't see it because I don't have Netflix. It's an expense. They raised their prices. You know, I can only pay so much, or I only want to pay so much for streaming services. So, look, Criterion Channel. I know they don't. They ghost me when I email them. Hey, would you like to advertise on my channel? That's fine, but they have kept the subscription the exact same for years for me. I'm only paying $89 a year for this thing. Now, that's because I'm a charter member. And as long as I'm a charter member, I like $89. Is that going to be the case in 20 years? I mean, that, assuming inflation, increase in prices, yeah, that's awesome. I doubt they'll do that. Netflix is buying up malls? No. No, no, no. That no, no. I thought the mall has died a slow death in America. Maybe it's had a maybe it's had a renaissance. Netflix is oh, that's where you're getting. Netflix is moving into malls. What is this? Experiential entertainment venues. It's like Netflix Disney World. Imagine waltzing with your partner to an orchestral cover of a Taylor Swift song on a replica of the Bridgerton. How is this attractive? Is this really attractive to people? Like, that's hilarious to me. Uh, then walking around the corner competing I mean, I did read that too. That's part of the reason why I'm laughing. Because, like, why would I want to be in the Squid Game? I thought that was dystopian nightmare stuff. Oh my gosh. I have no idea what is happening with this company. Meanwhile, I've ranted about this 15 times here. They do not support younger talent. They do not promote it. They do not support it. You just use their endless pot of money and buy off, name people. They're going to fail. My old white guy prediction, which probably will be wrong. They're going to fail because they don't promote young stars. They need to get invested in the tried and true system of building up young talent. Younger talent or just talent. And they don't do that. So I don't know what this mall thing is about. Good grief. Well, that made my day. Although that's America for you or something. I don't know what to call that. Netflix is whatever. Cue, this is the end. Yeah. Anyway, it was great to see you today. Thank you for everything. Subscribing, memberships, all those things. Have a great July. I hope it's awesome. Wherever you are, Southern Hemisphere, survive the winter. Northern Hemisphere, survive the summer, whatever. And enjoy your lives watching these movies because, you know, movies, they're great. And there's so many of them to watch. We need several lifetimes. So enjoy watching. See you later.